We have already covered about cash flow statement in our previous videos. Now we'll move on to the next topic of our portion, that is funds flow statement. So the name of the topic is funds flow statement. Now moving on to the basic concept of funds flow statement. First of all, it is 80% same as your cash flow statement. Means most of the treatments you are doing in your funds flow statement are the same in your cash flow statement. So after studying your cash flow statement, you can easily understand your funds flow statement. This CFS is for cash flow statement and this FFS is for fund flow statement. Now in the cash flow statement you had cash and cash equivalents with you. That is, you are recording cash, bank and some kind of marketable securities. These were the things being recorded in cash and cash equivalents. That was the part of your cash flow statement. Now moving on to the funds flow statement. In the funds flow statement, the major thing we'll consider is your formula for working capital is, first of all, WC stands for working capital, which is equal to current assets minus current liability. In short, when you are preparing a funds flow statement, all the current asset and current liability will be recorded. Current assets include your stock, prepaid expenses, cash. Ultimately, cash is the part. That means cash is recorded in your cash flow statement as well as your funds flow statement. Now, next thing in your current liability includes all the kind of creditors, bills payable. Ultimately, all the current assets and current liability are being recorded in your funds flow statement. In short, in your funds flow statement, we'll focus much more on changes in working capital. This is the first thing we'll focus on, changes in working capital. Now, your funds flow statement from the word itself derive funds. Where is your cash flow statement derived? Cash. Now, these funds are the wider term as compared to cash when you're preparing your funds flow statement. Next thing, your cash and working capital are almost similar. And the final thing we are recording is changes in working capital, that is current asset minus current liability. Now this was the basic introduction of the chapter. Moving on more detail. There are 3 statements to be prepared when you are solving a sum based on funds flow statement. Now the first is your calculation of fund from operation. That is, you need to calculate the fund. Second is your changes, statement of changes in working capital. And the third one is your fund flow statement. Now your cash flow statement was recorded in 3 kind of activities. First one is your operating, second was your investing and third was this financing. Now these first 2 statements are the inclusion of your operating activities. That means all those operating activities will be recorded in these 2 statements, and these 2 activities, investing and financing, all things related to sale and purchase of fixed asset or shares or debentures will be recorded in your funds flow statement. Now there are 2 types of calculation of fund from operation. We'll look into both and then we'll move on to statement of changes in working capital. Now moving on to the first statement, that is our calculation of funds from operation. So the heading is statement of calculation of fund from operation. Statement for funds from operation. Now, first of all, looking onto the basic concept, we have three columns: particulars, amount, and amount. Next thing, now same as cash flow statement, we are recording everything as the addition part as well as the subtraction part. Moving on to first thing was your net profit for the year. This will be recorded on the basis of the amount given. All the add items will be recorded over here. Now this add non-cash expenses, which we have already studied in our cash flow statement. This is a part of working capital because cash itself is the part of your current assets. Looking to this page, I'll just put the add side first and then the subtract side. Adding things will be same as we have done in the part of your cash flow statement. First, depreciation. Next was your goodwill written off. Now third is your preliminary expenses written off. Now next, underwriting commission. Now this commission can be on shares or debentures. Discount on issue of shares or debentures. Next is your expenses on issue of shares and debentures. Next thing is your loss on sale of fixed asset. Next, interest paid, dividend paid. Next is your transfer to reserve. Next thing is your provision for tax. And the final thing on your add side is other non-current expenses. Other current or non-current expenses. Non-current, or you can say non-operating expenses. Now these are the part of your addition side. Everything is same apart from this interest and dividend paid. For this and this provision for tax, we used to prepare a working note in the case of cash flow statement, whereas here we'll record it over here only. So repeating it again, these are the part of your non-cash expenses that will be added on the net profit for the year. Depreciation, goodwill written off, preliminary expenses written off, underwriting commission, discount on issue of shares / debentures, expenses on issue of share / debentures, loss on sale of fixed asset, interest paid, dividend paid, transfer to reserve, provision for tax, and other non-current expenses or non-operating expenses. Now we'll move on to subtraction side. So we'll remove all this, but the table will continue. Now moving on to the subtraction side, that is less. In continuance with that adding part, profit on sale, profit / gain on sale of fixed asset. The next thing is your interest received, dividend received, rent received will be the part of the less side. Refund of tax, transfer from reserve, next is your other non-current incomes, and the final thing is that other non-current or non-operating income. We'll write it over here only. Non-operating income. Again for this, dividend received, interest received, refund of tax, we were having a different note in our cash flow statement, but we here will write in continuous of the statement itself. We don't have to prepare a separate note for this 3. Now moving on to the final answer, we'll get net funds from. If the answer is coming in positive, you'll write from, oblique, net fund lost. If the answer is coming in negative, we write lost in operations. This is the final answer you will get in preparation of your statement for funds from operation. Now this was the first method to record the same. There is a second method to record the same. We can prepare an adjusted P&L account for the same. There is nothing but all those things debited will be recording on the debit side. All those things added will be recorded on the debit side, and all those things subtracted will be recorded on your credit side. So moving on to the next account, that is your adjusted P&L account. Second method for the same, adjusted P&L account. Now moving on to the format, there will be 4 columns: particulars, amount, particulars, and the last one is your amount. Now coming to the solution. Where you have recorded your net profit for the year, you have recorded the changes between 2 years. But here, when you are preparing your adjusted P&L account, all your expenses will be recorded on your debit side, all your incomes will be recorded on the credit side. Starting with the first thing, by balance brought down. By balance brought down. That is your opening balance of P&L account will be recorded over here. Now coming to your closing balance, to balance carried down, that is your closing balance will be recorded. This is your to balance carried down, your closing balance will be recorded. Now all the expenses whatever you have written on your add side will be debited, and all those expenses which you have written on your subtract side will be credited. Basic rule which you have followed in your 11th standard in your P&L account, where you are recording all your expenses on the debit side and all your incomes on the credit side. Moving on to the debit side, I'll record the expenses again. So we'll write to depreciation. Next is your to goodwill written off. Next is your to preliminary expenses written off. Next, to underwriting commission. These are all short forms. Please check it. Preliminary expenses, underwriting commission, goodwill. This is your depreciation. To discount on issue of shares. On issue of shares, oblique debentures. Next thing is your to expenses on issue of shares. Expenses on issue of shares, oblique debentures. Next thing is your to loss on sale of fixed asset. Loss on sale of fixed asset. Next is your to interest paid. Next is your dividend paid. Next, to transfer to reserve. To transfer to reserve. Next, to provision for tax. Provision for tax. And the last thing is your to other non-current expenses. Ultimately, everything is same as we have recorded on our add side. Now moving on to the next side, everything subtracted will be recorded over here. So my profit on sale of fixed asset. Next is your by refund of tax. Next is your by transfer from reserve. Next is your by other non-operating income. By interest received. interest or dividend received. Now these are the things which will be recorded on the credit side. Now the final thing is you'll get is, if you're getting the balance over here, you're getting by funds from operation. That is, you're calculating your funds from operation, which will be calculated over here. Now if you're getting your balance over here, you'll get the answer of 2 funds lost in operation. That is your final answer over here. So this is the second method to prepare your adjusted P&L account or to calculate your funds flow, funds from operation. Now coming on to the next thing. This was your first statement, which can be prepared by 2 methods. Now you can note it down, or if you have noted down your first method, it can be directly derived from that. Now coming on to the next statement, that is statement schedule of changes or statement of changes in working capital. Before starting this, we'll just focus on the basic concept. If your current asset increases, ultimately this will increase your working capital. Why? Because your working capital is ultimately the formula of current assets minus current liability. In case if your current assets are 20,000 minus 10,000, your working capital will be 10,000. Second case, if your current assets increases by 10,000, that means if your current assets are 30,000 and your current liability are 10,000, ultimately this will increase your working capital from 10,000 to 20,000. That means when your current assets are increasing, it will ultimately increase your working capital. Now moving on to the next thing, when your current liability increases, it will have an inverse effect on your working capital. That means when current liability increases, working capital will decrease. Same way you can illustrate it with the help of the example, but we'll focus on our statement. That is our next statement, schedule of changes in working capital. Schedule of changes. So heading will be schedule of changes in working capital. Schedule of changes in working capital. Now the format for the same will be particulars, last year, current year, increase and decrease. That means particulars, last year or previous year, current year, increase or decrease. Now we'll focus on the current assets first. Looking to the space, we'll put current assets first, then we'll continue with the statement in the next with the current liability. Now moving on to the current asset, the first thing is your current assets. All those things recorded in the current assets will be recorded over here. First is your cash in hand. The next is your bank balance. The third thing is your marketable securities. Fourth thing is your inventory / stock. Now next thing is your debtors. Next is your bills receivable. Next is your outstanding income. Next is your prepaid expenses. And all your other current assets will be recorded over here. Other current assets. Now you'll sum up with your current assets, that is you'll get your total current assets. Now if you take an example, if your cash on hand is 10,000 over here, this is just for example, and here it is 20,000. That means from last year to current year it is increasing by 10,000. So 10,000 in the increase column. Now take debtors as 20,000. and take here in current year it is 25,000. So your increase will be 5,000. Take something other. Take inventory or stock. It is 10,000. It is 8,000. Now it is being decreased by 2,000. So this is the way in which you will record your schedule of changes in working capital. This is a statement showing changes in the working capital. Now this is a part of the current assets, whereas moving to the current liability you will have the inverse effect. So you can note it down according to your particulars. This all are your current assets. If something is left by mistake and you know that it should be the part of the current asset, you can put it in particulars. Now moving on to the current liabilities part. This is very much clear with the current asset. Now we'll move on to the current liability. The statement is continuing itself, so the format will be the same. Now moving to the B part, that is your current liability. So your current liability includes trade creditors, next your bills payable, next is your outstanding expenses, next is your advance income, other current liabilities, total current liabilities. That is B. For example, now in this case, there will be an inverse effect. Current year. For example, if your bills payable here are 10,000, it is being increased as 20,000 in the next year. It will have an inverse effect. If it is being increased, it will be shown on the decrease side. There will be an inverse effect because when there is an increase in the current liability, your working capital will be decreased. For example, if your trade creditors are of rupees 8,000, it is being decreased to 6,000. So your increase will be 2,000. Inverse effect. Now moving on to the final conclusion, there will be something like dividend tax, interest paid. It will be recorded in your funds flow statement. Now these two were the distribution of your operating activities. Now moving on to all the activities which will be recorded, all those financing and investing activities which will be recorded in the last statement. Now this is very much clear. Now you will subtract it and get it your working capital over here. So your net working capital will be A minus B. That means first A was your current asset, B was your current liability. So changes in working capital. Now, after completing this, we'll move on to our final statement, that is statement of funds flow. Now moving on to your final statement, that is your funds flow statement. Now the format for the same, heading is your funds flow statement. Format is your sources, amount, it should have a bigger column because we have to write bigger items. So sources, amount, application, amount. Here your sources means the money is coming in. Here application means your money is going out. So all those things which gives you money inside will be the part of your sources, taking it from investing as well as financing as a part of the cash flow statement. I'm taking the name again, cash flow statement. So to remind it, you just need to follow my cash flow statement topics also. Starting with the sources, this you don't have to write in your exam, but this for your betterment. Now coming on to the sources, issue of shares. This will increase the part of your amount, so here it will be written issue of debenture. Next is your loan taken. Now moving on to your application side, redemption of debenture. Next is your buyback of shares. Next thing is your redemption of debenture is already done. Redemption of preference share. Next is your repayment of loan. Here we complete our financing activities. All those were considered in financing activities we have written in the part of sources as well as application. Now moving on to the investing activity. Sale of fixed assets. Next thing is your sale of investment. Next is your refund of tax. Next is your interest, rent, dividend, receipt. All these are giving you inside money, so it will be recorded over here. Funds from operation. In case from your first statement you are getting your funds in positive, that will be recorded over here. Now coming on to the application side. Purchase of fixed asset. Purchase of investment. Next thing is your income tax paid. Next is your interest paid. Next is your dividend. Mark a star over here because these were the things recorded in your notes, but here it is being recorded in your funds flow statement. Now moving on to next, funds lost in operation. That means if you are getting your answer in negative from your first statement, it will be recorded over here. So either this or this will be recorded in your funds flow statement. Now next thing, we will be recording here decrease in working capital and here increase in working capital. Now if from the second statement we are getting increase in working capital, it will be recorded on the application side. There must be some confusion with the students that why to record increase over here and why to record decrease over here. So I'll explain it to you. Just you can note down your funds flow statement. This will be recorded in the same manner, sources amount, applications amount, and these are the things to be included in your funds flow statement. So you can make a note according to that. Now moving on to the next thing, I'll just explain you why decrease is recorded here and why increase in working capital is recorded over there. So I'll clear the statement. Now coming on to the statement. Now in the funds flow statement, when you were recording your working capital, for example, if 1 lakh was invested as a part of your working capital. Now, this was kept as a working capital. Now, it is being told that you need to increase the amount of your working capital and to make it as 1,25,000. Ultimately, you have to increase your working capital, so 25,000 will be increased. And in case, if it is being told that now you have to keep only 80,000 as your working capital, so your 20,000 is being reduced. That means there will be the inverse effect. So only here increase in working capital will be recorded in your application side, and on your sources side decrease in working capital will be recorded. In case you have any doubts, you can mention it in your comment section, and if you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe this video.